Hey everybody, sorry about my nose sniffling. I'm a little sick. So let's start this movie off with my next Batman film. Can you even see it? Batman, The Dark Knight Returns. Some of you might be thinking, what the craziness is he talking about? What I'm talking about is an animated movie based off Frank Miller's Batman, Dark Knight Returns, where Batman's like 58 and he's tired of seeing all these gangs of criminals beating up on all these innocent people, and he takes back the Batman mantle because he quit a long time ago, but now he's back and he's grittier and he's a little muscular and he's a little stocky and he's a little just kind of ridiculous. And in this movie, he doesn't really face any major villains yet because this is only part one. Part one, he faces Two-Face, who's now completely deranged, and he also faces a gang of criminals called the Mutants. But I really like this movie is because the voice actor of Batman is none other than the original RoboCop, Peter Weller! I love Peter Weller. I love RoboCop so much, oh my god. And he plays Batman? What? Which is kind of ridiculous because they're remaking RoboCop, so why isn't Peter Weller in that? But anyways, this movie is fantastic. And, spoiler alert, at the end, you see a certain clown prince who has now gone completely mushhead till he hears on the news that his big black bat has returned. And he says the most creepiest line. It's not even creepy, but he doesn't say pretty much anything in the whole movie because you only see him like in two parts. But at the end, you see him sit up as he's hearing the news in the mental asylum. He's in Arkham Asylum or something. He's hearing all these news about Batman. He stands up and he starts like stuttering. He's like, bah, 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 bah. And he goes, Batman. And then he goes, darling, and then smiles. And I can't wait for the sequel because that's when he faces the Joker. Whoa! I'm so excited. I'm so excited. This movie is fantastic. It's kind of short. It's actually kind of long now I think about it. And if you've ever read Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, I would recommend it to any Batman nerd or comic book nerd. It's fantastic. Another side note, Spider-Man Reign, kind of like the same thing. Spider-Man's really old and comes back and starts beating up a lot of people. I recommend it. I recommend this movie if you love Batman. It's a very good Batman movie. Now I'm going to keep this short, because there's actually not quite a lot to say about this movie other than you need to watch it. You do. Except there's a few funny parts. So the mutant leader, he's just a really big, muscly dude. But his nipples are so pointy. Like this one part he kills a guy. I'm pretty sure he like grabbed his head and like orange, like you know like when they take an orange and just squeeze the juice out of it, they put it like on that spike thing. Go, I'm pretty sure that's what he did against his nipple. I mean the guy, they're like this, just so sharp. They're horrible. And Batman kicks his ass after he gets his ass kicked. And the Robin in this is Kelly Fisher. Is that her name? I feel like that's her name. But anyways, I recommend it because it's very good. It's fantastic. I mean, the sequel is definitely going to be way better because Joker's actually going to be in it. But this one's really good. And I think it's a really good adaptation of the actual graphic novel, which is kind of hard to do. Especially if you're going to have to make it two parts, you decide what parts you actually want to keep in and what parts you want to get out. So yes, if you've never read The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller, I recommend it. And if you've never even heard of Batman, The Dark Knight Returns Part 1, I recommend it highly. I give it a 9.8 out of 10. The only reason that is because I love my classic villains. I love Joker. I love Scarecrow. I love Riddler the most. And I love Two-Face and everybody else. The mutant leader didn't have any of my love. I didn't really know him. I was like, who are you in my house? Get out, mother trucker. So yeah, watch it if you've never seen it, and wait for the sequel if you've heard of it. And yes, I'm going to move on to my next movie review and the last one for today. So stay tuned for that.